Welcome back, everybody. The Grand Tactician, the Civil War. I'm Grumpy Grandpa Gaming, and this is episode 7 of our Federal Spring of '62 campaign in version 1.11 using the A.O.M mod. First things first, we do have a few new viewer units to add here, though I did have to recruit them, make them out of existing units in the armies already, as I have no troops left from those states. First up is the 79th Highlanders out of New York under Marcena Patrick. And this is for Shot Scarface. And he also requested the Cameron Highlanders Heavy Artillery, which I do also have in the same division. So they are sitting in the 1st Corps, 3rd Division with the Band of Mary Boys. Next up we have the Grangus Legion for War Guy, which is in 2nd Division of 2nd Corps. They're out of Pennsylvania, and you asked for the oldest commander I had available in game, and looks like Harvey Brown won the crown at, I think he's 66 years of age. So being in the field at that age, oof. So you got the oldest officer I could find to take command of that unit. And just as a reminder, if you'd like a brigade in one of my armies, please let me know in the comments below type of unit, state it's from, weapons, uniforms, officers, and I'll oblige on all counts if I can. I only ask that you be a subscriber of the channel. I got no way of checking, so we do work on an honor system with that. Alright, moving on. Last episode, we saw the Battle of Fort Mifflin up here outside of Philadelphia, because the if I remember correctly, it was the Reserve Corps retreated through Washington, D.C. and up into Pennsylvania, Jersey area. So we did take care of that. And we also had the 3rd and 4th battles of New Bern down in North Carolina with 13th Corps. So after the last episode, I decided to make a few strategic changes here. Number one, the biggest one, is I have disbanded all but 3 of my fleets, and even those will be going away here shortly. I'm leaving these 2 in place right now to take down the fort outside of Jacksonville, or at least reduce it a little bit, Fort Clinch, in preparation for landing Butler's Corps in the region. I've also decided to pull 13th Corps away from New Bern and send them out to the Outer Banks. And they're just going to go sit over here by Fort Hatteras for the time being. I may have them join Butler in Florida. I'm not sure yet. But I'm doing what I can to try and get the AI to consolidate and preserve its forces and not throw them away in nonsense attacks. And also, in trying to get the rebels to take Kentucky, I have ordered the 10th Corps down into Nashville. I've ordered 13th to Carthage Ferry. And I've ordered 12th down into Cumberland Gap. And they're not going to perform any combat operations. I want to see if I can draw the Confederate forces behind them. So as soon as the Confederate forces come up against them, we're going to withdraw those forces and keep pulling them north and pull the Confederates into Kentucky and see if we can't get them to take the state, to give them a little bit more of an advantage going on. I know it sounds counterintuitive, but like I could end this game in a few episodes if I wanted to, and I kind of want to draw this out until the DLC drops. So we're going to look to give them every advantage that we can. That's why I'm surprised I have not taken Winchester. Actually, you know what? We'll order 5th Corps into Winchester, and when they show up, we'll just withdraw out of it. See if we can't get them to take that also. Alright, I think that covers everything for right now. So, it looks like British intervention is actually at 52%. So, let's see if we can't get that higher also. If we can get the British and French into the war against us, that should make things much more interesting. So, we'll try and give that a shot. Alright, now I do believe that covers everything, so I'll be back. Alright, it's now May 19th, and we have ourselves a naval engagement on the Mississippi, and it looks like we already won it. We have sunk 1 ship. It's like a wood-clad gunboat, J.A. Cotton. Alright. So it's Mississippi River Squadron versus the Mississippi River Squadron. Alright, go ahead and return to port. I was going to come in on a nice little battle there, but guess not. For a destination, where'd I send you? Ah. Why are you still on your ships? Get off the ships. Build a supply depot. We're just going to leave the North Atlantic blockading squadron there for now to cover the Outer Banks. What's going on here? Did we win that? Yep, still firing away. I don't really have the ships in this fleet to be doing it. And we lost a ship bombarding the fort. Oh, doesn't matter, as I will be disbanding these anyway. And it still shows it in our favor. And we're slowly killing them off. Yeah, I brought you guys back in for a small naval engagement that just was smaller than I thought it was, so I'll be back. Alright, it's now May 25th, and we have finally found the Rebel Corps down in, right at Nashville, 1st Corps Army of the Mississippi. So we're going to go with our plan that I had originally, and we're actually going to withdraw, and you're supposed to withdraw to the other side of the river. What the hell? Ugh. Why would you not withdraw to the other side of the river? I want them to chase you. Well, we'll have them sit there and we'll see if they chase them any further. Just cut another bond. My expenditures are exploding right now. I understand why my Navy upkeep is so high considering I disbanded damn near all my fleets. Are you guys going to pursue or are you going to sit there? Right now we have another fleet taking a go at that garrison. Doesn't look like he's moving any of his other corps to come meet us. Don't know if this plan of mine is going to work. So we withdraw towards the ferry. We'll come back on the other side of the river over here. Looks like they moved the Army of Tennessee forward, but its core is down here. Starting to wonder if that plan is going to work, and they haven't made a move on Winchester. Usually leaving a corps sitting in Winchester causes them to do all types of stupid things, and they're just not doing it. We'll see what happens. Maybe I'll start my drive and end this campaign early. I'm not sure. So, a little upset that they're not taking advantage of me abandoning everything. We'll see what happens. I'll be back. Alright, it's now June 5th in game, and I did let things slide past me a little bit. So, looking at things around the map, trying to figure out what I'm going to do here to try and give the Confederacy advantage, and I'm not seeing much in the way of options here. So, I think that little game is over. I don't think there's any way I can make this stretch any further than I already have. You guys ready to move? Why would you go that way? Don't. Ah, bloody hell. Give halt orders. Alright, but we'll go over to monthlies first, and then we'll discuss strategy moving forward. Alright, so current rate of our economy is BB minus. Our debt increased by 50 million. I actually think it increased by 75 and not 50. I think that's a little wrong. Our current economy cycle is recovery. The wealth of population is below average and increasing. It says our tax revenues increased by 819 million, but I think that's what we took in. Yeah, that's what we took in. We didn't construct any buildings last month. Exports were 62 million out, 158 coming in. And average production over the last 3 months was 1.2 billion, which was a change of plus 20 million. And our economy lacks artillery, ammunition, iron, food. But the iron mine should be upgraded, so there shouldn't be much of an iron issue anymore. Yeah, that's fully upgraded. Making 225,000 pieces. Yeah, it leaves us just a little short, it looks like. But not by much, so that's no big deal. So looking at the financial screen here, we are almost at $1 billion in expenditures. What I don't understand is my Navy upkeep. So I've disbanded all but 2 fleets at this point, and that's at 131 million. It shouldn't be that high. My Army upkeep has ballooned with all those troops going into the field. And last monthly, so it was either just under 300 million or a little over 300 million, but that's ballooned heavily. So we're spending 179 million more than we are bringing in, and that's come down a lot as a lot of that ballooning had to do with all the viewer units I was plugging into the game. Alright, come over to take a look at intelligence. It looks like they're working on the first conscription act. I thought they finished that already. Maybe not. Maybe they're just having a hard time getting it done. Confederate relations with Great Britain is currently at 52%. That should jump up a little bit more here fairly soon. It says they recruited 1,900 men to 8 brigades, which sounds like it's nothing but artillery and cavalry. They formed the Army of Oconee and Hawthorne's Corps, so all that's going to the Army of the Oconee. And the final fleets have been raised. Biloxi Bay Squadron and 4 new ships started construction. That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Maybe they stopped building ships that have more men for the Army. I don't know. I really think the devs for the game going 62 and forward should give the Rebel AI a numbers advantage of some type. Who knows, maybe A.O.M can do that, but I don't think they can mess with the files that much. But they do need some type of numbers advantage. So we come over to strategy. They only have 170,000 men in the field to my 297,000 in the field. So we can easily whip, even if we lost every battle, we'd just trick them down to nothing. But national morale right now, we're 86 to 85. Support, we're at 79 to their 87. Navy tonnage, theirs is now up to 81,000. How am I sitting at 117,000 still? Oh, all those ironclad frigates I'm building, that's why. Total casualties so far, we're at 13,417 to their 31,928. So things are very heavily in our favor. Come over here to policies. We did finish government funding 2. We have also completed Revenue Act 1 the last month, because that only took about 8 days. So we are now working on letters of marque, which should help piss off the Europeans just a little bit more. And that should bring them to almost 60% on the intervention, hopefully. As soon as we're done with this, we will go to print notes. Not something I generally take, but I will this playthrough, as we are locked out of this until after the winter, and I don't even know if the war will last that long. Alright, now that that's done, I do believe most of our viewer units are actually ready to go. All but 2 are. And they're still 15 and 14 days away. So we'll start transferring these units in right now. Is there any space left in 1st Corps? Okay, 2nd Division Artillery, you can get replaced by... Wait. I think the Flemish lines were supposed to go with another brigade. Yeah, I think it's supposed to go with the Hessian Hellfighters. So we'll put the 1st Legion Nationale Artillery into 2nd Division of 1st Corps. 2nd Division Artillery. Leave you there for now. We'll transfer you to another artillery division somewhere. Thailanders. Okay, 3rd Brigade can go out. So the Pennywise Brigade is going to 3rd Division of 1st Corps. Texas Loyalists are going to go to 1st Division 2nd Corps. Along with the 20th Maine, and it'll be brigaded up with Mars Irish, division up with Mars Irish Brigade. That battery will come out, so we'll put the 1st Kinetic's a generic. That's a generic. Ozark Mountain Daredevils will also be going into 1st Division of 2nd Corps. Now the Hessian Hellfighters will be going to 2nd Division, 2nd Corps, along with the Flemish Lions. And one more brigade. And U.S. Marine Corps, you're probably going to go 3rd Division because that battery, you have a battery that goes along with them. There it is. And 3 cavalry brigades will be going into a division, their own division and their own separate corps, like I did with the Army of Potomac with the 14th Corps with the Army of the Mississippi. So I'll do that off screen while I figure out who's going to be taking command of all that. So, generic. Frederick Hellfire. We got to get a home for you boys. Oh, and the 1st New York Light was already here. So, Marine Corps. Oh, that's the Bala. Where'd the Marine Corps go? I grabbed the wrong unit. That's fine. Marine Corps, you're going there. With the USMC Artillery. So, Marine Corps is 1st Division, 3rd Corps. Oh, Bala, you got to go back to the training. You guys weren't done training yet. And Frederick Hellfire is going to 2nd Division of 3rd Corps. And these other 3 are just generic, so they're just going to end up in an artillery division somewhere. Alright, oh, looks like we got troops on the move. What do we got going on here? Where are you boys going? Not sure, but that's neither here nor there. Alright, strategy going forward. So, the rebels did not take my bait for Kansas, or my bad, Kentucky. So, I'm thinking once all the viewer units are into the Army of the Potomac, we're going to start our final push down into Richmond. So, I have already started dispatching. We did take Fort Clinch. So, I've dispatched Butler's Corps and Burnside's Corps down into Florida. I'll create a new army down there for those 2 corps. They'll be operating down this way. We'll see what happens here. That's probably why they created the Army of the Oconee, because they know they're on their way. So I'm not sure if I'm going to make a push with the Army of the Mississippi, but I probably should also. But right now, the main drive, actually, yeah, those cavalry brigades will be going into the 14th Corps Mountain. This way, everybody's all together, because this is going to be where most of the fighting is going to be happening as I push into Richmond. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do with that. So, those 3 cavalry brigades. So, Sin City Raiders, Wolverines, and Kirk's Deserters will be going to the 2nd Division of the 14th Corps Mounted. So everybody's over here, the party's all together, and we can begin the dance. Yeah, because I don't see any way, other than me just sitting here and running the game through the winter and hoping the AI gets its act together. It's the only way I can extend this campaign, and that's just, I'll be honest, that would just be boring as all hell, so we are not going to do that. If I got to wait a month, if I finish this campaign in the next few episodes and I have to wait a month for the DLC to drop, that's exactly what we'll do. Otherwise, just bang my head against the wall waiting for it. I don't want to start a new campaign until that drops. So, I should be back. Yeah, we'll probably kick this off with a July offensive driving on to Richmond, so I'll be back. So, one thing I didn't realize, forgot to go over projects. So, what do we have here? So, I could have just skipped past this, but I didn't want to leave you all out of this process. Subsidized industry, yes, always want to take that. We'll leave Cornet's King alone, as that does improve relations with Europe. Don't need recruitment offices. Don't need trade warfare. What else am I saving up for here? I want logistics reform. Yeah, I think that's it for now, Zoe. We want farm mechanization. We don't have the money for that. And we want logistics reform, so I don't want to spend any more of the military money. Let's go with a level of occupation administration for when we land in Florida. Take a level of market reform. Not much to bring you in on there, but that is what it is. So I did finish sending out the rest of the units and reorging the army. So the Army of Potomac's now over 116,000 men. It's almost at 117,000 men with the troops that are in it now. And actually, that will actually get larger as I still have to transfer 5th Corps back into his control. So we'll do that right now. Wonder how big this will make the Army of the Potomac. It's another 21,000 men going into the army. Army of Potomac now has 138,582 men in it. I have almost as many men in this one army as the Confederates have in their entire army. Yeah. They have 170,000 men in the field. The Army of the Potomac's 138,000. So, yeah, I don't see any way of extending this campaign. So, once all the viewer units are transferred in, we will begin the drive. So, I'll be back. Alright, it's June 6th, and of all the weirdest things that the AI could have done, they have sent Lovell's Command to attack Cairo. And I don't even know how it got here. They still control the forts along the river. Unless they marched up by land and came across at the ferry crossing here in Paducah. That's probably what they had to do. They just had to come straight up the rail line and cross up Paducah. But what a weird thing for the AI to do. They only have 5,200 men and 25 guns in this force, coming against my 14,240 infantry, 1,400 cavalry, and 41 guns. Yeah, I'm just going to take this one off screen, so I'll be back. Alright, that was pretty short and sweet. The victory at Cairo almost became a major victory by accident. I wasn't trying to demolish the force, but it pretty much almost happened anyway, the way the AI was behaving. So the enemies reportedly suffered total casualties of 694 men. I think about 200 more would have put me at the major victory. There are 101 killed and 261 captured. Our casualties total 65 men with 13 killed and 9 missing. And most of those casualties are actually from my cavalry brigade, because all I really had to do was charge them, and the rebels broke. So, captured 282 rifles, 11 guns from the field, and sent 257 soldiers off to our prison camps. So, yeah. Glad I took that one off screen. I really am, because that was just, yeah. And I was thinking, I was just, during the fight, I was thinking, I said I was going to start making the drive on the Richmond for July. I may hold off on that, as they are working on the draft right now. So they may bring their numbers up, I'm not sure. So I'm trying to decide if I should make this go through the winter. Actually, you know what? About 2 hours after this video goes live, I'll probably put a poll up and see what you all think. Try and, make this go through the winter and see if the AI corrects itself in that time period, or just do the drive on Richmond. I'm not sure yet. So I'll leave that up to a poll. So we're going to keep this episode going a little bit longer. It won't be too much of an exciting one if there's no major battle, and I apologize for that. But I'm going to let you all make the decision moving forward on whether we should drive this to a conclusion or stretch it out. But either way, I'll be back. Alright, it's June 24th, and I have transferred the last 2 viewer brigades that were in training into the Army of Potomac. So the Kansas Jayhawkers have gone to 2nd Division of 2nd Corps, and Fa'abala has gone to 3rd Division. You know what? I think Fa'abala should be divisioned up with the Irish Brigade. Yeah, actually, we'll do that. So 20th Maine is going to be 3rd Division to 2nd Corps, and we're going to put the Fa'abala with the 1st Division, so that brigaded up with, or divisioned up with the Irish Brigade. And I'll transfer, because all my corps are actually 3-division corps now, with all of your units that we got plugged in. So the leftover, 2 leftover brigades will be going to be engineers for other corps. So I think that works out for me. In other news, we have landed both corps in Florida. It looks like we might have a battle coming up down this way. Or are they moving away from us? With the Army of Pensacola with Pender's Corps. No, they only have 7,000 men. Alright, so now at the 6th and 13th Corps in Florida, I actually created an Army of the Suwannee River. I was going to call it the Army of the St. James, but that just didn't, or the St. John's, that just didn't roll off the tongue very well. I just called it the Army of the Suwannee instead, which is another river in Florida. So Butler has commanded that army. Not the best man for the job, but that's kind of the whole point. I don't need them doing too good down here. Put the boys up on supplies. So we'll slowly start taking over control of Florida, but we'll see what happens. Rebels, it looks like they got their draft kicked off finally, but it's only the level 1 draft, so they only brought their numbers up to 195,000. So, still not looking good for them. But I'm going to try and find us a battle here with something of a sizable command. Levels command's now in Kentucky. It's in Kentucky. So our support's actually dropped down to 49% now. So that's actually a good thing. That's actually a really good thing. But just to go find us a battle, I think I might send 8th Corps after the Army of the Arkansas. Yeah, they got 25,000 men. That should be a good fight. Let's start moving you down that way and see if we can't pick a fight with that force. So, alright, looks like I'll be back in a little bit here with the July monthlies, so I'll be back. Alright, it's now July 2nd, so, you know what it is, it's time for the monthlies. And after that, we'll see what's going on over here. We are trying to bring the Army of Arkansas into combat. Let's see what we got going on. Alright. Current rank of our nation is BB minus. We did cut one more bond in the last month. So our liabilities are at just under 800 million. Current economy cycle is recovery. Tax revenues were 839 million. We didn't construct any more buildings. Total export volume last month was 88 million out with 242 coming in. And average core production in the last 3 months was 1.1 billion, a change in negative 29. And we lack artillery, ammunition, forage, food. It doesn't show iron anymore, so we have caught up on our iron shortages. Yep, looks like we caught up on our iron shortages. We're just about 1,000 points off, if even that. Iron production is 215.1 thousand versus demand 216.1 thousand. So we're actually not that far off, so that's very good. Looking at finances. Yeah, we're still spending 304 million more than we are bringing in. I'm still trying to understand why my naval upkeep is so high, because none of those ironclads are in the water yet, so I don't think it should be that high. It was actually lower when I had more ships. So it's a little weird. You can see my army upkeep has ballooned to 544 million with all those units that went into the field. Especially since they are very well armed. Alright, take a look at intelligence. They're still discussing First Conscription Act. I thought that should have been done already. They've been working on that a while now. It takes like 3 months now they're working on that. They've done a level of recruitment offices. Relations with Great Britain is now up to 57% since we did policy letter of marques came out for us, so that increased the British intervention rate on their side. And they've recruited 500 men in 2 brigades. That's 2 batteries of artillery. And they have formed the Army of Pensacola and Pender's Corps, which is supposed to operate down in Florida. And started 2 new ships. I don't know why they keep doing that. And it's strategy. And national morale, we're 88 to their 84. National support, 79 to 87. Morale to armies, we're about even, 95 to 90. Men field, I have 305,705 in the field to their 182,930. So they did quickly bump up to 190. But I guess a bunch of units, terms came up, so they lost some of those troops. And their tonnage is now up to 89,600, so that is quickly growing. And casualties, really no change. We're still sitting at 13,042. We only added 60 casualties onto that. This is at 32,610. Policies. Like I said, we did pop off on letter of marque, so we are now working on print note 1. As soon as that's done, we'll work on printing notes too, and then I'll figure out what we're going to do after that, because none of these policies open up until after the winter. And projects, what do we got available? Not much. So we want the logistics reform. We'll take that. We don't need recruitment offices. Take a level of suppressed population. And we're still waiting to subsidize farm mechanization. Do I want to take infrastructure reform? Let's take a level of infrastructure reform. Why not? That covers that. So I just have the Army of Florida right now, or the Army of Suwannee, just sitting around Jacksonville for the time being, because they have all these smaller corps in the area, but they're all very small forces, 7,000 to 8,000 men each, so it's not really worth going out to go get them. I may send 13th Corps down to Tampa to take this fortification. The big thing right now is trying to bring 8th Corps down to contact with the Army of Arkansas. I don't even know if they're actually here, because this intelligence is, yeah, from April 26th. It's now July 2nd, so that intelligence is bad. They may or may not still be there. I'm banking on them being there, because the AI really hasn't moved around too much. The only thing they've really done is kind of spread out their core. I don't even have all of them sighted. So, once again, I'm going to try and get that unit into combat over here, so I'll be back. Alright, it's now July 7th, and it looks like we finally have ourselves an engagement. And on top of this, it actually looks like the rebels are moving against Winchester. So, originally, just the Department of Norfolk was on its way to Winchester with 5,500 men, but now the right wing, with an additional 18,000 men, is on its way over there. So, I've actually ordered 5th Corps to withdraw just as far back as Harper's Ferry, to see if they'll actually go in and retake Winchester. If not, we'll push that corps into them too, but probably next episode. But right now we do have this fight going on just north of the river for Fort Smith, Arkansas. So we have my 8th Corps in command of Samuel Curtis, 15,846 infantry, 1,100 cavalry, and 55 guns, going against Beauregard with Holmes Corps with 23,634 infantry and 102 guns. Holy crap. Now we know where all their artillery is. Oof. This might be an interesting fight, especially if I have to attack. I'm kind of getting my hopes up for this one, but I hope they're not being wasted, so I'll see you on the other side of the load screen. Welcome to the Battle of the Arkansas River. So we are actually on the attack. I don't even recognize this map, to be honest with you. I don't think I've ever drawn this one before. I feel like I should know it. Yeah, Elkhorn Tavern's ringing a bell. So this might actually be an actual battle map from out west. I'm just not sure the name of it. But we are on the attack end. This is some really, really crappy terrain. Look at this. Holy crap. But their artillery advantage is now negated. That's one good thing, but still, they still have a lot of infantry for us to chew through. They're defending here. This is going to be an issue. I'm looking forward to this, and I'm not looking forward to this. This is going to be a rough one. So it's 600 in a day, so we got the entire day to come get them, and basically only the one road we can travel down. So I'm going to get my troops in movement order, get my cavalry out. Do I even have cavalry in this force? Yes, I do. Okay. Get my cavalry out and scouting, and see how long it takes. It's going to take forever to move along this map. This is just some crappy terrain. Is this road macadamized? No, it is not. Alright. 0600 now. It's going to be a while before we find the rebels, so I'll be back. Alright, it's 0940. We have found the rebels, and they've dug themselves a good set of entrenchments here across the road. I mean, obviously, we're not going to be attacking into the face of that. It doesn't show the brigades in the entrenchment, so they are getting the cover bonus from it. So we are going to be sweeping around through the woods over here. And may leave one division in front here as a distraction. Move your division up further. Problem is, there's really no roads for me to use to get around them. I gotta go right through the woods. You know what? I can use this road over here. It still puts me in front of their entrenchments, though, but it gets me on their flank a little easier. Yeah, we'll send this division down this way. That Charlie division will just have to keep coming along. I don't think I'll be able to get them set up properly to do anything. Cavalry, pull back. It's still going to be a long while before I get anything set up for an attack, so I'll be back. Alrighty, it's 15:30, and I still really hasn't come up with a good attack plan, but what I'm doing right now is I have 1st and 2nd divisions heading off over this way, if you can see the markings on the map, set up for a flank attack coming down their line. Everybody's going minus their artillery batteries. 4th Division here, which I do have to rename, I'm going to send straight across the river here and put them directly in the Brightwater with their artillery, and hopefully set up a defense line here where we can at least lock them down. So it's going to take a while for them to get their orders, so their movement should coincide with the rebels noticing me on their flank. Oh, he's going to march within rifle range, these guys, isn't he? That will not be good. You halt. We need you to not go there. It's still going to be a while before I kick anything off, so I'll be back. Alright, it's 17:55 on day 1, and things are not looking good for this attack. 2 of my brigades have broken. I caught the 1 brigade that was transiting too close to the lines over here, but I didn't catch the other 2. And with their sheer exhaustion levels, they took basically 1 volley of rifle fire, then both of them broke at the same time. So I'm still continuing forward with the plan. I just may have to hold it off until tomorrow. Though my other division, 4th Division, is still on its way to the town or the farm of Brightwater over here. But they are exhausted also, so I don't even know if they'll be there before sundown. Because they have done a lot of marching through the woods. Everybody has. This is just... the terrain in here is just a mess. It's hard enough for me to get an attack off in here. If the AI had to do it, it'd be even worse. Only one of my batteries is actually firing. No one else has got a shot. Ugh. Hopefully we get on the objective point before nightfall, but I'm doubtful of that. I'm very doubtful at this point. So, I'll be back. Alrighty, it's now 0500 of day 2. So, because I had my divisions kind of spread out around here, you can see we were able to effect an overnight link-up, which allowed me to redeploy the entire army. So, we are now sitting on the objective point, which is going to force the AI to attack us, as our morale will steadily climb because of this. We took a lot of, not that heavy overnight attrition, but we did take. So, 307 of our men ran away overnight, and 195 of theirs ran away overnight. But aggregate, they're still sitting at 26,000 men. So, but artillery's basically caused equal casualties to each other. Just, only my one battery was able to fire, and that was that. So I've set up over here in the defense, with cavalry out on my left flank in loose order. The 2 divisional support batteries are just, there's not much that you can do here. It's I just got them out in the woods working as big shotguns. 4th Division is on the objective point where they were sent to. And I have 2nd Division over here on my right flank, 2 divisional artillery pieces from the artillery division in the center of them, with the division that broke in reserve along with the engineers. Not that great of a lineup. Quite honestly, it's a really crappy lineup, but this is really the best I got right now. Even my artillery's got crappy sighting. I mean, there's just nothing I can really do. So, I'm going to hit play and hope for the best at this point, because I don't know if I'm going to win this one. And they're counter marching towards us, so probably about an hour or so before we're in combat, so I'll be back. Alright, looks like we had better firing arcs than I thought, as all my artillery started firing at the forces back over here. I mean, oof. It looked like they were going to wait to set up for an attack, but not anymore. Their forces are now disrupted, marching down this road to come get us. So they're facing what I was facing yesterday, and this brigade's already getting ready to break. Yep, there they go. So I'm starting to worry just a little bit less about this fight now. Okay, their morale has come down to 45. Speed this along a bit. Even though they have the artillery advantage, I don't think they're going to be able to use it. Well, they will be able to, but we should be able to break their brigade. There goes another one. This definitely worked in our favor. Like I said, they are now going through what we went through. Battery going through the woods. That can't be good. Let's kick out some skirmishers. Take care of that battery before it rips mine down. Oh, there they go. Alright, never mind. Bring the skirmishers back in. Looks like my artillery's going to be breaking them. There's not been a single rifle shot so far. Yeah, just marching down this road from here to here just destroyed this army. Oh, we got some rifle fire. And they already broke. One volley, and then they're gone. If anybody's wondering what today's battle brew was, it was fighting 69th whiskey. It was originally going to be a scotch, and then I saw the battlefield. I'm like, yeah, it's going to be a whiskey battle. But, yeah, there was nothing to absolutely worry about whatsoever. I hate to say it, this probably got to be the most boring episode I've ever done. Yeah, morale's now down to 32. This brigade's about to come into range, and they're already, yep, they're breaking. And Barry set up just outside of rifle range skirmishers. I feel like I should be moving 2nd Division forward onto their flank, but marching them through the woods probably break them just as quick as these guys were breaking. My Assad busters are leveling up, so they've done some good work. It's the only viewer unit in this corps. Kick out some skirmishers and have them hit this battery in the flank. Just along just a little bit here. All they have left are the batteries. Nope, they got more infantry coming. Not much. There's no way we saw everything. There's got to be troops that have not come forward yet. That is just a lot of artillery to messing up. They did have over 100 guns in this force. You turn to face. Yeah, they should be with, yep, there they go, withdraw. Put a few more shots into that battery. This went from a tough fight to win to an easy fight to win once I got around them. Whoosh. This is ugly. I think a Beauregard should get defamed from this battle. Somebody reformed, just jumped back in their direction a little bit. Speed this along, see if they issue that with retreat order. There it is. They're far enough away where it's only 1 minute. Speed this along. Alright, so I went from thinking I was not going to win that fight to having the opportunity to get behind them, so wow. You know, my army was breaking on the way to attack them, and being able to set up defensively behind them and have them come at me broke them instead. So, that worked in our favor very heavily. So they lost 800 or 25,000 infantry. A few hundred of that is from overnight attrition. They lost all 100 of their guns. Oh, wow. We got all of their artillery. But the losses aren't that high. They lost 1,000 of their 26,000 men, so they still do outnumber us. So another fight on this map might end us. But we lost 502 of our 15,842 infantry, 36 of our 1,100 cavalry, one of our 55 guns. Total loss of 555 of our 17,829 men. So we'll go through the paperwork on this real fast. It's basically just the artillery and the skirmishers that did any type of fighting. Engineers in fight. 2nd Brigade. Huh? I think 2nd Brigade's the cavalry. They didn't fight. 1st Division, only the Iowa Sodbusters. The only viewer unit in this corps. Did 85 to infantry, 5 to artillery for total 90. 2nd Division, their artillery did 53 to infantry. 4th Division, 3rd Brigade did 21 to artillery. 1st Brigade did 21 to infantry. 2nd Brigade did 42 to artillery. And their divisional artillery did 167 to infantry, 88 to artillery for total 257. So this battery did the lion's share of the work. Division total 341. And I got to rename the artillery division. This got 2 4th divisions here. That's oof. 1st battery did 84 to infantry, 1 to artillery for total 89. And 3rd division artillery did 187 to infantry, 5 to artillery total 196. The reason the 1st and 3rd division artillery is because they came out of the Army of the Potomac when the rear units went in to replace them. So division total 285. Let's see if we got any of their officers. Oh, we got Beauregard. That explains a lot. Beauregard went down. And it looks like it was just... Oh, and we also got Major Shoup. So we wounded the Army commander and a battery commander. That explains a lot, because their morale did take a big dive, and that was what caused it, was taking down Beauregard. Let's get closed out of here. Alright, I do believe I already said what I had to say about this fight, so once again, you all let me know what you thought in the comments below, and I will see you all on the other side of the load screen. Alright, victory at the Battle of the Arkansas River. So the enemy's pros suffered total casualties of 968 men. There are 252 killed and 161 captured. Our casualties total 555 men, with 66 killed and 325 missing. We captured 330 rifles and 41 guns from the field and sent 153 soldiers off to our prison camps. Rains lost face, but that should have been Beauregard. Beauregard should have been the man to lose face, as I was able to maneuver around his entire force and put him out of position. But that was an interesting fight. Not that exciting, but it was interesting, at least for me. So we'll let this one roll off, and then we'll withdraw 8th Corps back into Missouri. As I don't want to bring Arkansas over to our side. Alright, there they go. I think that rolled off a little faster than it should have, so we're going to withdraw back to Springfield. Yeah, something the Union Army did a lot. Win a battle and then pull away. And it looks like right wing is still... Are they going to take Winchester or are they going to go after 5th Corps? That's the question. That'll be a question for next episode. So as I said, I'm going to allow you all to decide how this campaign continues forward. Do I start pushing forward with the Armed Potomac and a drive on Richmond? Or do I let the status quo sit through the winter and see if the AI can get its act together a little bit before starting a spring campaign? So that question on a poll will be going up 2 hours after this video. So 8 o'clock Eastern. I'm not sure off the top of my head what that would be in Zulu time. So just keep your eyes out for that. This way we'll know Friday how we're going to continue forward with this campaign. So once again, if you're a new viewer, return viewer, not yet subscribed, please think about hitting that subscribe button. If you do, remember how you hit that bell icon so that when the next video comes out. If you like a brigade in one of my armies, please let me know in the comments below. Type of unit, status from, weapons, uniforms, officers, and I'll oblige on all counts if possible. And as always, comments, keep them coming. And I'll see you all at the next episode. Stay grumpy.